Yeah, yeah.
always. Um,
I tried it out, you know.
yes. Yeah, it takes a while to load, but then it's this funny thing. So I'm gonna go with Welcome to Humanity Unboxed. And
I tried it out.
yeah, you see, then it goes double. So welcome to Humanity Unboxed. We are still in the theme of story and play, general theme. I think life is story, and we forget to play, and we can just play or monkey around, as you say. It's important for us to not just create story because we do around everything. I think especially we kind of touched on your summit this weekend that you were involved in. I hope you're going to tell us a little bit about it because it sounds like it was amazing.
I have not latent learned about it. So I have to
Yeah.
write, in order to my neurodiversity to do this, I
Yeah.
have to actually, the emails and all, I have to put that all together, and then we will make one about the neurodiverse because you're neurodiverse
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So we do one about all neurodiversity
Yeah.
because I think
Or
that needs
well,
to be
all
said.
people, because I think yeah, we
Yeah,
just kind of touched on
the
that.
individual,
Um,
one of one
yeah,
is of
yeah,
there is no such thing as a global neurodiversity because it's a spectrum. So it's a generalized patterning discovery, but it's not really for the one-on-oneness because everybody is different. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Actually,
Really.
actually,
Really.
it's just me
Yeah.
and you, and all the people in our lives,
Yeah.
and each of us are really, really different. Some of us are a lot more different than the system wants us to be, and that's where we have boxes. So then we
Yeah.
use things like
Unbox. That's what we do.
neurodiverse and spectrums, and
Yeah.
yeah, and so we want to unbox it and say, well,
Yeah.
I am part of the human race, species,
Exactly.
yeah,
Collective
nature,
consciousness,
human
everything.
nature. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And that's important. There's a lot of narrative at the moment, and I feel like it's all crumbling, like the systems have told us that these people are bad and those people are good, and this is the way to do it and that's the way not to do it, and all of it's kind of going, none of it's real.
They
you
just
know
are. They just
yeah,
are. That's that. Oh, he seems to me like an ass. He seems to me like an angel.
exactly.
But they just are. They just are
Yeah,
in our reality. And certain people get very upset about politics, and other people don't care. Or other, it's just other
mm,
thing is the best politics ever. We're all on a spectrum, and the only thing we is think how to handle the story. And the story is this was so beautiful. You got me in. You lured me in. The story is I think the story we telling stories. It has a couple of functions to make. So, for example, let's say you don't like that prime minister, right? You don't if that happens. So you hate him, and then you make a story why to hate him.
mm,
So to make sense for you to integrate the system relevance and the human centric, and you make up a story which can have for you personally to justify why you have the opinion about the prime minister, right? And it could be also that you observe certain things where then other people say, yeah, I like that story from Michelle there's about the prime minister because I have the same story. It resonates with me. And there's the patterning them back in. We pack the pattern in the story. So basically, we have about everything. Self-talk, you have stories. I'm jealous because she always, I'm jealous of her. She always, touches my wife. She always, tries to influence my wife.
mm,
So you make a story. So the story is, oh, she wasn't loved enough, or she's insecure. So you're making us up. We constantly make stuff up
mm,
to make the instead of just saying certain things just are, and the only life that's important is mine because I make. It's not a narcissist. See, that's what the system says against it. Your perception, live your life, not somebody else's life. Obviously, you made a commitment to your family. You have to also live their lives a little bit,
mm,
but make you serve the family the most when you are you, even if you're a horrible mother.
Mm.
You're gonna serve the family the most, because that's why you came here, and that's why they were bad people, a bad child, a bad husband that you perceive as bad,
Mm.
but actually that it is very positive because it helps you find stuff. I thought, oh, it's horrible, did this to me. And it gets less and less the more you get aware and unbox the humanity.
Mm.
You find out not a big deal. If stuff happened, what happened the last 5 years since COVID, to me, when I was little, I would be probably not here anymore.
Yeah.
And not saying that as a thing, I would just check out. I couldn't, my nervous system couldn't uh, uh,
Deal with.
process that.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. So I'm going to go back.
It's just the flow. I'm sorry. It just came in.
That's all good. That's all good. So making up stories, and this is the whole thing that actually, I was meaning, we make
Yeah.
up stories. So I don't like that prime minister. Now I have reasons why I don't like that prime minister or president or I don't know,
Whatever.
whatever. Um, but because I believe that, and we'll put social media to the side for the minute, for
Yeah.
for a little
Yeah.
bit, because social media is also going to feed my story,
Yeah.
no matter which side my story is.
Oh, you
It
can choose also with social
You can only
media.
choose if you're aware, though.
Yeah, if you're aware, and then also the algorithm chooses also. Say, aha, she hates the prime minister. We have that to think. So
But now they're going to show me all the
to
reasons
make
why
your story bigger. Yeah.
I should hate the prime minister,
Good. Good.
right?
Good. Good.
Yes, yes. But now, see, this is what I love because my husband Scott and I have very
Scooter.
different views of the world, completely
Yeah.
different views.
Yeah.
And I was thinking earlier today, maybe his punishment in this life was to spend his life with me because I constantly challenge his views. So now I look at what he's being fed because he has a story, his story. He brings it from wherever. I have my story. My story comes with I want to see everybody's sides to the story, where he doesn't necessarily want that. He wants to see his side to the story, and he wants to confirm that he is right. You know, and he gets fed that all the time. I
Of
can
course,
listen to his stuff,
that
and I go,
segregates that.
but do
If you are
you
right and he's
hear?
right and you're opposite,
Yeah,
and it's
but
fed by this.
like he doesn't necessarily hear the language that's being used to keep him in his box. And
Yeah.
obviously because I'm not in that
Yeah.
frame of mind, I can tell him, but listen to this part of it, or who she's talking about. She's talking about this guy. Now look at
Yeah.
what he's actually saying. So then we can compare and say,
Mhm.
okay, this guy says a lot of sense. So just because she's shaming him doesn't mean what she's saying about him is true. She has an agenda. So, you know, and for me, that's interesting. It's irritating because these people get away with things like this. And, for me, it's also important for us to be able to talk about these things and say, I don't agree with the way that you are seeing this because I want you to also look at it from this side. I also want you to look at the possibility that humanity um, is universal, not universal, global, that there's a global aspect to connection and not just to white men, on Scott's side, but that you can also look at it from um, how women perceive the world. I am also a woman, and women perceive the world very different than men do. We know
Generalize,
danger.
generalize, generalize.
Yeah, but we have to know and realize what we need to do to be safe. Like, yeah, as I'm
As
transitioning.
your appearance, you have to protect your appearance in the
No, not
system.
just that. Not just that. Even when yeah, I can go walk in the dark. I can, if Joshua is doing rugby, I can go down the field and I can go for a walk in the dark. I can't do that in South Africa. I know that. That
Hmm.
is not something that would be, a possibility. So anyway, going off track now, but um,
No, it's good. I like it.
there is. there is differences in how we experience the world, and I think we need to also embrace those and not just go, okay, we're all human and we all experience, we're not experiencing the world in the same way because we are also
Perspective is
different.
also different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we don't need to justify our perspective.
Yeah.
I was listening to a very interesting author, a Palestinian author, and he was saying how, for example, and it's not just, you know, to do with Palestinian people, but he was drawing it to them as to how they need to be the perfect victim, because, you know, otherwise their suffering would be justified.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But what do you say? No, okay, keep finishing. I want you to
Yeah,
finish.
and it's just I think we need to hold two things at the same time. You know, we
Yeah.
often
And
talk about
what we say,
exactly.
and
Yes. We need to be able to hold the fact that we are all
yeah.
human, but
Yeah.
also that we're all different.
Yeah.
Um, and that we
Which
need
we
to
say
know.
101
Yeah,
is we don't
exactly.
say stop generalizing. Look at me as a human first.
Yeah,
And then also you are a female, so a female cannot work in, let's say, the
yeah,
system has developed in, or the human development in that system has so whatever, what is it, conditioned people that they cannot walk at night. This
mm,
system has conditioned you that everything is afraid, be so afraid that you can't then walk at night.
yeah.
In the spirit of South Africa is probably I'm just, this is my see, the people are wilder,
Yeah.
not primitive, wilder, so they can,
Well, no, no, not necessarily. Also, you know, this is a
yeah,
different conversation.
you can generalize, that's
As
it.
yeah, as I was traveling last year with my mom and my daughter on our own in an area in South Africa that I didn't know,
Mm,
and it should have been dangerous. It wasn't, you know, because we could connect to the people of all, you know, cultures that we engaged with
yeah.
because we were willing to, and that was
Mm,
really good. So, yes, and you know, it is
yes, and
always
yeah,
this conversational
could be,
spark.
but all possibility. See, all possibility can be positive, 100%. So you can experience something in South Africa when you're there that you would have never experienced in Europe.
Oh yeah,
Never.
yeah, yeah.
You
Lots,
can have stuff,
lots and lots.
and
Yeah,
no,
good
no, no,
things. Yeah.
and experience, not meaning just nature, but up from human. You could
Mm.
experience something, somebody saving your child, somebody saving
Oh,
you,
the
somebody,
warmth and the connection
yeah.
with people is just on a different level in South Africa.
So
And
everything is possible there. You can be killed there. You can be killed here.
yeah,
You can be hurt or abused here or there, but you can be also rich there and here. So,
yeah,
oh, how can you South Africa? You can get rich, and all of a sudden you do something, and you cannot. You give away the money because you have so much money, for
yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, or you give away the stuff. So everything is possible because everything is possible, and we have all different perspectives.
Mm.
That's that guides us. The perspective of different people guides us that everything is possible, good and bad, and we need to get that in. We wrangle that in into the end. It's
Yeah.
good and bad, and it is. So therefore, I'm not gonna. You can choose what you prefer.
Mm.
Prefer, not choose. Choose good. I'm gonna say everything. I'm all positive. Don't say any negative. I can so many people.
No.
They come controlling in and say, don't say everything negative. I'm on a positive. I read a book and I'm not talking about a negative. There is no negative. There is an
There is,
opposite.
well, there is your perception of negative. You
Exactly.
know, so you can experience
Yeah.
something negative, and for you to want to
Yeah.
express that should be honored.
Yeah.
That's what I think, at least.
Yeah. No. No, it's what I think too. I agree with you because I'm not saying that we are wise, right? It's a people perceive, oh, we know it. No, we don't. We are not prepared. We're coming here and say, unbox what is.
Yeah.
Unbox what is. That's the only thing we do. And I thought the self love is the way. People say, oh, you shouldn't self. The whole narcissist movement is also, and I said, when you do it systemically and say, just, I want more money, I want more love, I want to take advantage of people, perhaps that is narcissist. But I say, if you don't love yourself so that your, whatever nature made you,
Mm.
that you honor that, whatever nature, the one-on-oneness that nature made you, and you honor that and say, yeah, I honor God or the nature or the universe that created me as that, as a part of it, not even I'm separated from them and I'm just, let's create that. Like,
Yeah.
do a painting. Humans are not a painting. They are part of the whole.
Yeah.
We are part of the egg. We are, somebody shattered the egg, and we are slivers of that egg in some way, right?
Yeah.
And in some way, and the only way we are conscious now is probably everybody thinks differently, and everybody is differently, and everybody's perception of life is different.
Yeah.
So, right?
And yes, definitely. And the system is trying to smother that
No,
so
humans do.
blatantly.
Humans
Well,
do.
no,
They take advantage of the system.
human in Australia, people are being jailed for using a phrase that is important to them. I mean, that is, if that's human, then I'm not sure I
No, no,
like
no, no,
it.
no.
Yeah,
But
it's
still, you
system that
human implement the
yes,
law
but
that you
it
need to
is
be punished.
generated. It is prescribed by system because it's control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the system has no. It's like things happen, so the system doesn't have. Oh, I prefer Michelle and I hate Michael. It doesn't say that. There is somebody behind that that makes an algorithm or anything or a law. A lot of guidelines. They're not absolutes, because when somebody is dying, you drive over a stop sign. So
yeah,
that's what I think is the system is neutral. It's always humans who say AI is the worst. It's gonna kill us. I mean, they speak all this stuff. There's always humans that use a system to make themselves matter. That's what I mean.
mm. But
So
they also create the systems to make them matter. So,
I don't
and
know that.
the
I don't know if
system,
I think. You see, I have a different kind of thing.
mm,
Uh, I think everything is honorable. The honorable intent. So, for example, if we talk always about the tribes, right? So somebody says, "Hey, we bring you food from the woods if you take care of my horse."
yeah,
That is an honorable intent to create the spark of creating a system that I take care of horses, right?
mm, mm,
But yeah, that's a spark.
yeah,
But when I run out of oats, when I run out of stuff, and all of a sudden, prices go up or whatever those things, then I have to cut my staff. I have to do all this stuff, and all of a sudden the system becomes, instead of serving you to serve your horse as good, at least as half as good as you are. Yeah, it
mm,
can never be perfect, but
mm,
because one person doesn't care about their horse and one person cares very much about their horse, but the system can kind of in the middle tend the horse. All of a sudden, their costs go up, and they can't. They have to do to care for the horse.
yeah.
And then, like in education, you have so much system in order to hold that what we have. We don't want to lose that. Let go. The
Mm,
person, the rare thing, with the best things would see, he sees that coming, and says, be transparent and say, hey, this is, we either have to raise the price, or I cannot take care of the horses, or you have to bring me more food. I sell the food, and have the budget to do the same job, because it's about the horses. It's not about anything else. It's the
yeah, but
beings, the
now you
being.
brought system into that, though.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
the system is raising the prices,
yeah.
and there isn't always honorable intent, you know.
No, no, no,
So
no, because
once
the
they have
money.
to scale, we talk about that often,
Yeah.
once the scaling comes in, now suddenly it's not only people
Stupid. The worst.
like, yeah,
I hate scaling.
Yeah.
I can't
But this
stand.
is what I mean. So I can only look after 4 horses. That
Okay,
is
and
my
then I
time,
should never do
right? So
anything other than
I
four
should
hard.
just look after 4 horses. I
Exactly.
really like to eat
It's very good.
salads and I really
Yeah.
like to eat fish. So
Yeah.
I am going to work with, exchange with a fisherman and a farmer,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So and I can find contentment in this exchange
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
good friends now with the farmer and I invite him over for a picnic or whatever we
Yeah.
do a
Yeah.
braai or whatever
Yeah.
or a good bottle of wine because he also makes wine or you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it becomes a point of connection. But
Yeah.
once we have a system that comes in and says, I'm going to raise the prices, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 you're going to have more people, you got to hire people now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So then it creates disconnect. And then
Hmm.
we are no longer using a system. We can call the system where I have 4 horses that I look after and I have an exchange. We can
Yeah.
call it a system, but it's not fixed because I know
No.
when
It's a
the,
living system. If
yeah,
he has space, let's say he has a kid, his starts at 4, the kid grows up, helps him. He can start with 6 horses. It
yeah, if
doesn't
the kid
matter.
likes
It's
horses,
a
you know what I
living
mean?
system.
Yeah.
The system, that's what we're propagating that. So living system is constantly, so like once a year at least, look at your function, look at your vision, and then make the mission right, so that we actually are content, a win-win-win situation. That's what we said.
And that
And
therefore the system will never, because the system is the fact that I know that the horses have to go out in the mornings, they have to be brushed, they have to have
yeah,
food in their hay nets, they have to, this is the system
yeah,
that I work in. But that system works like that because I know the horses need exercise and the horses need
yeah,
food, and I can do it in this way. So I create a schedule or a routine that I
yeah,
follow that also makes sure that I have my cup of coffee in the
yeah,
morning because that's also so it creates
yeah,
a sequence of events which we then call a system. The
yeah.
system isn't something that I am bowing down to. It's something that I'm using
No, no, it
so
should
that
serve you.
yeah,
It should serve you, that you can do, that we become more, the human potential goes up. And in this week, it's so funny that this came up, because I was thinking a system is the problem is humans hide behind the system because it is not a human.
yeah,
So if the CEO is not good, you just throw him out, get a new CEO. After a relationship with your one CEO, let's say with the horse thing, I don't want to give it to somebody else that I don't know, that I don't trust.
mm,
So I thought there should not be a system without a boss. A boss needs to have also a part, very much into it. So he should have also it's not just, oh, I have money and just be a CEO. No, you should have something in. It should be not a board is also good. A board is made to in the system relevance is made to circumvent stuff, and in a board is to keep the vision clean. So having a
if
board,
the board is invested, it's also
yeah, they all need to be invested. That's the
yeah,
word that I
yeah,
was looking for. The word. Thank you.
yeah. It's also
We solved the
letting go
system
then.
problem. We solved the system.
Yeah, I
No,
have
because you
very
have
much a
first to be
love-hate
conscious.
I love hate relationship with systems because I do use systems and I really do like them
Yeah,
when I need them. Um, but I need to be separate from them. And I
yeah,
think, humans need to be separate from them. We
yeah,
cannot be controlled within in government, within whatever, this is what governments do in
yeah.
general. You know, keep the people in the dark and feed them shit. Because that's much easier to control because then
Never
you get whatever
transparent.
you
They're
want.
never transparent.
Yeah.
I'm totally understand. If I couldn't come today, or if I had something, I said, I don't know today if we can talk. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying I'm gonna cheat her and just pretend, that we just. The number of episodes is not important for this podcast. It's what we do when we want. When you go to South Africa, we might not talk a half a year. That's
Yeah.
okay, because I know it's always good.
Yes, yeah, but
So
there's a deeper connection than the system of having to build a podcast or having to show
yeah,
up, or even the word, what's the word? It came up today, consistency. You know, it's such a heavy word because you have to do it the same way all the time because otherwise you're not going to be
yeah.
consistent according to
System.
the
It's
system.
lazy, like lazy. You're lazy.
Yeah.
You're lazy. So it's always shaming. It's like consistent shaming.
Mm,
And also it doesn't, by the way, when you crank out, so I like, that's why I like Ruben. They all said, shorter podcast, a shorter podcast, a shorter podcast,
mm,
3 hours, 2 hours.
yeah.
And people listen to him.
Mm,
Not many, not all, not everybody listens to, but the right people like you and I listen to his stuff. So
yeah.
thanks,
Yeah.
Rick.
Thanks, Rick. I was
Yeah,
just I was looking into some of his quotes again today. I miss him. I haven't watched or listened to any of his stuff
yeah.
recently, so thanks for
Hey,
that.
you go where you go. But
Yeah.
so that's a boss, and needs a human that is invested in this with passion. Because
Mm,
if a human is not invested with passion, he has to be transparent, not the system, and say, you know
mm.
what, I liked working with horses. I don't like it. I'm done. I know
Yeah.
it. I love horses, but I'm not into handling them, into treating them, into nurturing them. I'm not that done. But my wife is. Let's try my wife. You know,
If she
and
chooses.
be
Yeah.
transparent to that, and then we say, oh, okay, let's try your wife.
Yeah.
And
But this
there's
is also where, and I mean, I call it the system. I think there are, I always joke with my children and I always get it wrong because it's an NCP or an NPC. I don't know. Non-player character, non-character player. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah. Non-player character. I think there are a lot of humans that are non-player
yeah,
characters that serve and execute the system.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because they perpetuate the story of
Mm-hmm.
the fearfulness.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching again about this. I really enjoy learning more about the New York mayor, for example, Zoran
Yeah,
Mamdani.
yeah.
I think he's got an amazing connection to people. I watched this little thing of him in a
Mm-hmm.
taxi with a taxi driver, and the taxi driver knew him from before because they went on a hunger strike before
Yeah.
together. And, there's
Oh, oh,
story.
oh, that's Mark.
No, no,
That's for
this
the
was
Mark family.
Mahatma.
Carrie and
That
Mark
was
family.
Mahatma. And he's a Uber or a taxi driver. I don't know. But, so there is story that connects us to the humanness, but there's also story that takes us away because the system is going to tell us, oh, he is Muslim and he's going to do this and that. And
Systemically, he might not be right, but human basic, he might not
I
be
like him,
systemically. No, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if the whole system is, Republican, yeah,
yeah,
and it doesn't matter if the whole system were Democrat and he was the only Republican,
yeah.
then he's probably not a fit for the system, whatever, they
But he
say.
can also be a Republican that believes in things that serve the community.
Yeah, there's less. You know what? There's less and less happening
Yeah, I
because
know.
people,
Yeah.
people want safety. They don't want chaos, and they want strict. They rather have strict rules
Mm,
than no. When they're a victim of the system, a victim wants strict rules that they
mm.
know. Okay, it's simple. Their life. I don't go out in China and all this stuff. I don't go.
Yeah,
I don't do this.
I
I don't.
don't agree with you, much.
I know. I'm saying. I'm not. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not. I'm not saying. I'm saying system relevant. I'm talking
yeah,
system relevant.
yeah.
A human becomes almost system relevant when he's so destroyed that he says, "Oh, the world exists. What systems is the world. God is money. Control is the way I am, and or be. I am
Mm,
controlled or controlling. That's the whole world of. We said that there's a one world human centric, then system relevant, then digital, and probably there's 100 other worlds, and you
yeah.
can be in that world. So I don't even this. It's just this stuff is Mandani. The verbalization of this person or that person as a Democrat segregates us.
I
Why
don't
does,
even know, to be very honest with you, I don't even have a clue what his I have listened to him have conversations with other people,
yeah,
and I like the
human
fact that
centric,
he
yeah,
is seeing people
yeah,
as people and saying, we have to look after the humanness,
yeah,
and not follow the system, because
yeah,
people that are traumatized through systems want nothing to do with the system. They want to blow the system up. There's a
yeah,
there's a saying, and I keep getting it wrong, but I'm going to just have a look quickly. It's about a child that does not feel the warmth of a village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
yeah.
Um,
I like that. That's it. You don't
yeah,
look at, no, don't have to look it up. Yeah.
yeah. I keep wanting to look
A
it up.
matter. We all want to,
Yeah.
this
We just
stuff
want to
is,
feel warmth and to be
yeah.
seen. And if
See,
we don't, then we're going to rebel naturally.
exactly, because because see, the one of oneness says it's a given. You are seen because you're chosen in the whole to be unique. So
But we
if there's
don't
no purpose,
experience it in this world.
yeah.
We do not experience it, especially if we do not fit the box, especially if we want to whatever we want to call ourselves, neurodiverse, or
Whatever.
being a
Me,
foreigner,
me.
or yeah,
Sick, being
yeah.
neurodiverse, everything. Couldn't
Yeah.
read, couldn't write. No schooling, no reading, no writing. So yeah.
So you
So
don't, as a child, you
you're not
grow
aware. You
not.
said, "Seeing you,
Mm,
your soul is screwed." You
a
said,
lot of children are aware, where they go, "Oh, I'm not being seen. I want to do something that makes me seen." I've
and
started
that's the
listening
wrong
to,
thing. That's
yeah,
the wrong thing
I've,
because it has to be system relevant to be seen. Versus, I can be also seen, like you and I are seen as who we are, what we prefer, not seen to be a stripper on a thing, a stripper couple on in Las Vegas. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like that's not even if it would
well,
get
there's
attention.
there's a very interesting guy, and I can't remember his name now. He's an Australian stand-up
Hmm.
comedian.
Yeah,
He's got Islamic roots. I'm not sure from where. I think his
yeah,
parents were immigrants. But how he started, kind of how he got famous. I think he went to Australian Idols or something like that, or
yeah.
and he ended up in the finals out of 3,000 people. He was
Hmm.
last five. And the only way that he realized that the way that he got seen was to pretend to be the terrorist, because then people could laugh. Then
Hmm.
people could, um, they could find he was then suddenly seen. He couldn't be seen as being, I can't remember what his name is, as whatever, Jimmy,
Yeah.
being himself. He had to portray the
Hmm.
role that people wanted to see him as in a joke. He was
Yeah.
in a joke. And it's an interesting concept where um, he wasn't being seen because he was different, and he was from this bad place, and he had a religion that was bad, and all these things. So gets put into a box
Hmm.
of, you know, let's not
Yeah.
get out of that guy. But as soon as he can make fun of himself and their perception of him, then he's seen.
Then it makes it also not so foreign. Sectarianism is to
Yeah,
neurotypical people
yeah,
is foreign, yeah.
mm,
So also talking about there's one black lady that comedian that talks. So that pattern a lot of people use, not
yeah,
a lot,
yeah,
but some.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
she talked about big boobs. She
yeah,
said, why
exactly.
that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she, yeah, and
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a way to be seen, is to go, to find the thing that people find about you that stand out, that isn't
yeah,
necessarily all of you. It's
exactly,
something of you that is from their perception, something that they associate with your personality,
yeah,
and then exaggerating it and
yeah.
really falling into it and
Uh,
going, you know, yeah. Um, but that goes back to the underlying need to be seen.
Yeah, and there's nothing human centrical. There's nothing wrong Of course, because everybody I talked to thought one time in their life they were special. They are special, one of one,
Yeah. Yeah.
because nature made them special. But then it's going to be drilled out of you that you shouldn't feel special, because that doesn't mean better. They thought I know something that, and that's the stuff with school too, right? It's 98% are geniuses before they go to school, and then that's drilled out that they're special. Everybody to me is special, every human, because when you have that, when you meet human, even if you don't like him, if they stink, if they do everything, you can say, this is in my life for the reason that I think, and I make every human that I meet is brilliant in something. I don't know it. Even if I say I cannot see a thing where a person is valuable, he wouldn't exist. Sorry, he would not exist, and we just wasting 25,000 a week in Ukraine. We just waste humans because their existence doesn't work. Their existence is not going. See, the one of oneness. When you say groups, is easy to kill, to deny. Also, war is the thing. So we can easily deny when we generalize humans. When we say everybody is different, nature, universe made this person one of one.
Yeah.
But he's lazy. He doesn't do anything. He's whatever. He's neurodiverse. I don't care. Look at them. He's just autistic. I'm 2 points above autistic. So,
That's a good point to make also, though, of dehumanizing people, because that's the only way that we get to be okay with what's going on.
Yeah, with
So
being
if
nothing.
they're not like us, then it's okay. They don't really matter. But there is no dehumanizing.
It's submitting, it's surrendering.
Yeah.
It's submitting. It's you submit to another, to control issue.
Yeah.
When you just, it is. So, I cannot change the world today. The world is not my responsibility. My life is my responsibility. And I really pull myself always in, since I need to live my life the best I can, not save people or whatever. If I'm passionate about something and I can do something, then I do. But you have to live. For example, mother is a perfect example. You can give yourself totally up to your kids. Totally. You can sacrifice yourself. I chose that after martyr myself, whatever. No, you are the more you are you, the more you help your kids.
Yeah. And not that they need help, but they get to
no, when they were little,
they
I'm
get
just talking
to own their own uniqueness as well. If I get to own mine.
Yeah. And if not to copy, but they become more themselves because they've chosen to be with you, and you are like an absent drunk mother or whatever, yeah. Then the kids have that example and find their one-on-oneness. It's just an illusion. It's a dream here. I mean, what we go through, and things. If it's a dream, you have to say it is what is. You cannot say that's an illusion. All the spiritual things, which I can't stand. I must tell you, the spiritual thing is. I catch the Dalai Lama. I caught him. He said, "Oh, we're all the same." He met it in a different context. But for to teach that, you have to explain we are not the same. We are the same and not the same. We are part of the one, and we are all, I think, and he said we are all the same. That helps systems. That helps systems tremendously, because when systems say, "Oh, you're all the same, all woman, all man, all race," then they can divide us.
Equally valuable, though.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't say that. You said that. Not the Dalai Lama. You said that. And the Dalai Lama, I'm not even think that he does that, because it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's his perception. And his
but
belief.
It's also language. It's also
language. Everything.
What is the meaning by it?
I like the Dalai Lama. I don't have anything against him. I don't have anything against any human. I don't have anything against any human in human-centric. Only system relevance, when they do stuff that harms. That's why I come always back. You have to give, when you accept one of oneness, then you have to accept harm to none. Then you have to also accept live and let live. I have that
There's some bad humans out there.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not saying I am. I know that, but they're here for shadow. If you don't see them, you don't know how good we are.
No, I hear you. I just say they don't need to be leaders. They don't need to be at the top.
But our leaders on the top, I don't know any leader where I'd say I would love to know him. Not a single one. Not a single one. I wouldn't want to know. Me personally, I wouldn't want to know anybody. If Elon Musk, the stuff what happened with Elon Musk, I don't care. You know, I wasn't caring that. I wasn't nervous or anything.
Yeah.
Because he's one of one. If I stand for the one of oneness, I cannot treat him as he's superior to me. I want to know him. I have so much thing. I have so much fulfillment just knowing you, and you're not famous. You're not the thing. I have so much fulfillment, and where my soul is like, give me more of that, And I have connections with you, like with other people, not the same, but different, and they're different, but it's perfect. I have one person that's always contrary to me. I love that person because it's contrary, like your husband, Scooter.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way that we can. I don't know.
You have to find the positive in the end. You have to find the positive in the end.
Yeah.
When it's going off the balance, then you can end it or whatever, or problem. But you have the positive in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there can be lots of negatives in the middle.
It's okay. Why is that not okay? You're negative.
No, it is. That's what I'm saying.
It's in your perception negative, in his perception negative. It's not in what is. What is neutral. Whatever is neutral.
Yes.
There's a lot of negative.
No, what I kind of mean is, we also don't need to always strive for the positive, because that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it is what it is.
Is what it is, and
you live your life.
Is a perception.
That's it. Yeah. That's living your life. Perfect. Yeah. Oh my God, that's perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was as good as always.
Listen a couple times. I to the other stuff. I listened 6 times, I kept writing and writing and writing because it was so good, and that's what made also the episodes good. I think apart.
Yeah, we didn't even get to. We'll see what happens next.
We will see.
Maybe we'll talk about.
Maybe
we won't. Maybe we'll see what happens.